Everybody talks about creating LinkedIn content, but nobody tells you the real truth. Most people are doing it completely wrong, and that's why I want to show you the exact 80-15-5 framework that helped me scale to over 15,000 followers in 18 months and generate $53 million in sales without ever hard selling. Now, it wasn't from posting random content or trying to sell in every post. It was from this exact system, and I'll show it to you now. First, understand that not everyone is ready to buy. So if you're looking for prospects on LinkedIn, most of them are not ready to buy anything today. So you just hitting them on the head with an offer saying, buy this, buy this, buy this is unlikely to be successful. You have to meet the prospect where they are. They have something that's going on in their life. They have a problem that is not a product, right? You are selling a product, a service, whatever you're selling, but they don't want that now. But they do have problems in their business that are higher level that you can eventually trace down to a solution that you can provide something for. So most of the time, if you spend time talking about their problems, you will get much more attention than if you are talking about your solution. So it means spending most of your time talking about problems. So the way that I think about it is there are 3 levels of content. There's the awareness content, as in you're making them aware of you through the fact that you are aware of their problems. And when you talk about the struggles of an entrepreneur, if you're selling to entrepreneurs, they're going to look at that content, especially if there's a solution in it, if there's something interesting in there. So 80% of your content about will be in the awareness category, making them aware of you because you are aware of their problem. 15%-ish, and these are very, general numbers, but 15% of the content is on consideration. Like, yeah, I'm kind of looking for this thing and I'm not sure, who I should choose. And it's showing that you are a good choice for it because you understand their problems and you have a process for doing it. And 5% is purchase-related content. Hey, here's what I got. Here's some testimonials of people who have worked with me. And the awareness content is showing that you understand their problem. Because if you understand the problems, you earn the right to offer a solution. So what you want to do is give downloads, resources that are focused on the problem that they're facing. Now, we talked about in the profile having that resources section and having some downloads and things like that. Much like this video, when posted on YouTube, will have downloads on it because I really understand your problem as an entrepreneur because I've done this for 30 plus years. And I have some resources I can offer you. Here's a download. So that's what awareness content is about. Then there's consideration content, showing that you're an expert at what you do. For instance, in this video, I'm showing that I know a thing or two about LinkedIn because I've gotten 15,000 plus connections in 18 months. Well, I must know something about this, right? Now, do I have 300,000 like some people? No, but also I'm not offering something that everybody in the world is going to be interested in, right? So for my content, if it gets 150 to 250 views, that's actually not bad because these are, for me, high leverage individual people. Like an individual relationship for me can be worth a lot versus you might see someone with 300,000 connections or followers or what have you, but they're selling a $99 e-course. Well, obviously they're going to need masses and masses of people versus me who's working with a few relationships really deep. So what you need to do is make sure that you have the right ratio. So you're showing that you're an expert at what you do and you're getting enough eyeballs on the content for what you are offering, right? So the consideration content, that 15%, is downloads and resources focused on how they should make a decision to solve a problem. Now, again, you're not pitching them, you're helping them make a decision. And sometimes the decision they're going to make is they shouldn't work with you, and that's okay. But the point is that you're helping them make a decision. And that, again, earns the consideration of you purchasing from you. All right, that's consideration content. How do I, as a consumer, make a choice? Oh, well, Raj has helped me make a decision about what I need. So of course I'm going to consider him in that. But if he's not the right one, okay, well, that's great. I've just filtered out somebody who's not a good partner for me, and I've filtered in the people who are. Last is purchase content. That's a little bit more of the humble braggy stuff, but I wouldn't phrase it in that way. Here's what I do, and here are testimonials. Now I have a separate training on testimonials. They have a very specific purpose in sales. I'm not going to go into that here, but that's what that 5% of content is. Okay, so what do I do with all of this? All right, now I understand the kinds of content, and you're like, okay, so much information, Raj, how do I actually do anything? Well, the best way to post is daily, post at least twice a week. Use scheduling software. I use Metricool now, although I've used many different things in the past. I'm not affiliated in any way with Metricool. It just happens to be what we use right now. And I would have a VA, your executive assistant, somebody publishing for you. You should be creating the material. You should be responding personally. You shouldn't delegate responding to messages unless you're at insane levels. If you are at the level that you need to delegate, you shouldn't be watching this video. You should have that personal touch there. And that VA or EA will also keep you honest about publishing. They'll be like, hey, we need a new post, and they'll make sure it actually gets done. So I strongly recommend having someone helping you with that. So this is one of my favorite tools. It is a derivative of another number of tools that I've found in the past. This is the one that works well for me. I call it the Authority Content Builder. Now, what the Authority Builder does is make 30 days worth of content really easy. What you're going to do is at the top of this, you're going to write down 5 problems that your prospect has. Problems that are related to what you do and that would be on their mind. Now, it might not be the problem that they urgently have right now. In other words, it might not be directly the thing that causes them to purchase what you have to offer right now, but it might be like one step before. But it's problems that they have. The idea of content is to get them nodding, yeah, this guy really understands me. So you're gonna write down the 5 problems at the top. And then on the left, you've got these formats. So a Q&A, questions and answers. How to, like how do I do something if I have this problem? The Q&A would be Q&A about this problem. Winners and losers. People who solve this problem do this. People who don't solve the problem keep on doing this. Gotchas before you buy. So problems or mistakes people make in making a choice of vendor related to this problem. Surprising facts, things that you didn't expect about this problem. Problem isn't what you thought it was. And then why we buy from the best. Why choosing a high quality provider, vendor is the best thing to do. So what you do is you take 5-10 minutes and write the problems at the top, and then you fill out the rest of the grid with these formats, like what are the questions and answers, what are the how-tos, what are the winners and losers, and you will get a grid of 30 pieces of content that you can make. Look at that. You've just used this format. And now here's an important thing. You can use the same thing every single month. And you kind of don't have to really change it that much because unless you learn new problems like, hey, this problem isn't resonating, I'm going to replace it with another one. Or some formats are working better than others. If you just use this, you can recycle the same thoughts every single month because what you're doing is just creating new pieces of content that say the same things. And that's okay. Because the fact of the matter is, even if someone reads every single thing that you post, they're not going to remember 30 days later what you posted last month. Second of all, they're not reading everything you post. Most of the time, they aren't even seeing what you post. So they might be, someone who is like actually connected and engaged with you might see 1 in 3, maybe 1 in 10 of the things that you post. So odds are they've never seen it. It's totally new to them. So if all you're doing is you're taking this grid and you're putting in like bullet points and notes in each one and then creating new content off of those, or taking the one that you did 30 days ago and rewriting it, you have infinite content and it does not take that much time. But wait, there's more. It sounds like a pain in the butt. I have to create 30 pieces of content? No, we're going to do better. Here's the hack. You can get 80% of the way there in 5 minutes. So once you fill out that chart and you've got some notes in there, pick an AI of your choice. ChatGPT, it can be Claude, doesn't matter. And you give the examples of 2 to 3 good LinkedIn posts. Now, ideally, these are posts that you've written, and you say, here are examples of 2 to 3 good LinkedIn posts. I'm writing a new LinkedIn post. I'm giving you the notes about the subject matter below. Please write me another LinkedIn post. All right. Then you're going to pick a box from that authority content matrix that you just did, and you're just going to dictate. Now, if you have the version of ChatGPT that is on your phone, you can actually dictate to it. Probably, if you're watching this video 6 months from now, there's probably a whole new awesome technology about this. But the point is, you're just going to dictate. You're just going to brain dump and ramble about the topic. And it doesn't matter because the AI is going to arrange it into something that's a good post because it's got examples of good posts. So you just ramble for 5 minutes and talk about it. And then you hit go on that AI and it's going to rewrite your ramblings into a post that looks like the prior posts. This is the most efficient way of doing it. And you will learn, if it's hard to ramble at the beginning, you'll learn that you don't have to self-censor. You don't have to edit. When you're writing, so much of the time that we are self-censoring as we edit. We write a sentence and we rewrite a sentence and it becomes really painful. The point is that every piece of content does not need to be a shining example of perfect. Now, there are gradations of this. Now, I go a step further and I have a whole library of hooks and things that work and things like that, but that's because I've already mastered the basics. Like for me, I don't post all the time, right? I'll post 3 to 5 times a week on LinkedIn. On Twitter, it is more than twice that. But on LinkedIn, that's the most I've found that's a good mix of what I can sustain, very important, and what is effective. But if you just do this, it doesn't take that much time. It takes a little bit of time to make that authority content builder, but then all of a sudden you're on rails. And now if you have a VA, as I suggested earlier, they're keeping you honest. Hey, can you put 2 hours on your calendar and just power through a bunch of these? And if you do that, you can create a month's worth of content in not that much time. So that is the hack to content. Now you have the exact content framework I use to create LinkedIn posts that convert without hard selling. If you're looking for tools to boost your productivity, check out my video here called These 3 Tools Made Me Millions.